Hello, I'm Steve, this is Toby, this is Dan, and this is how to play Bad Trevor. So, first up, the game is only played with one Bad Trevor card. You have 3 in your pack, so return any spares to the box before starting. That's very important. Do not play with 3. Shuffle all the cards and deal them out evenly between the players. Bad Trevor can be played by 3 to 5 people and takes around 20 minutes per game. So all players can now inspect their cards. If anyone has a pair of matching civilians, they can either hold onto them or discard them now by placing them face up in the middle of the table. However, at this stage, they can't reverse play or demand a civilian from another player when discarding a matching pair. The player with Kamikaze Kevin must then place him face up in the middle of the table next to the discard pile. Not on the discard pile, next to the discard pile. Right, so I've got Kamikaze Kevin. That means the game now starts with me in a clockwise direction. I then start by laying down an attack hand in front of Toby. These are 3 cards from my hand chosen by me, which I place face down in front of him. Toby must then draw one at random. The other 2 are returned to me. If he picks up a hero card, this will help him in some way. Yes, even if I don't want to help him. He must read the card out loud, place it on the discard pile, then carry out that instruction. If he picks up a villain card, this will screw him over. That's more like it. Once again, he must read the card out loud, place it on the discard pile, then carry out that instruction. Quick bit of advice here. Some hero and villain cards might need a player to meet certain criteria in order for them to take effect. For example, that they currently have Bad Trevor. When players don't meet that criteria, they can simply read the card out loud and place it on the discard pile without carrying out any action. They then end their turn by laying down an attack hand against the next player. Right. Finally, if Toby picks up a civilian card, he must keep hold of it unless he has a matching card in his hand. So Toby, do you have a match?
I do.
Great. In that case, Toby can get rid of them both if he wants, and there he goes. And because he's discarded a pair of civilians, he's granted one of 3 options. He can carry on playing in a clockwise direction by laying an attack hand against Dan, or he can reverse the order of play, counterclockwise, and lay an attack hand against me. Or, if he's feeling lucky, he can point at one of us and demand a certain civilian. But if he's wrong, his go is over. He doesn't get to play an attack hand, and play skips to Dan instead. Toby, what are you going to do?
Give me Peter.
Okay, so Toby gets correctly, which means he can discard that pair and have another go if he wants to.
Give me Mildred. I do not have her.
So Toby's luck has run out, which means his go is over. Play now moves to Dan.
I've got 2 Ruths and 2 Kevins. I want to reverse play.
Okay, so Dan's been holding on to those pairs from the start. Clever boy. And as he's now reversed the play, he can lay his next attack hand against Toby. Okay, Toby, pick one. Oh dear, Toby's picked up Bad Trevor, which means he must also pick up the other 2 cards and add them to his hand. If these are hero or villain cards, he doesn't carry out any instructions written on them, as they now belong to him. But if he now has a pair of civilians, he can pair them up and discard them. Right, so, Toby, what are we gonna do?
Continue playing against you.
Okay, so it looks like Bad Trevor and 2 other cards will be coming my way. Okay, that one. Oh, right. So it's not Bad Trevor, but it is a villain card. And it says, take Bad Trevor from whoever has him. So I discard this card and take Bad Trevor from Toby. Well played that, man. Now, I don't have any matching civilians, so I'm gonna play my next attack hand against Dan as we're still going anti-clockwise until someone reverses direction again. Right, we're getting towards the end of the game and Toby has just laid down his last 2 cards in front of Dan. The thing is, Dan knows that one of them must be Bad Trevor. So, if Dan is feeling lucky, he can lay Kamikaze Kevin on one of those cards and say...
Take that, Bad Trevor.
Now, Dan can flip that card over and reveal whether or not it is indeed Bad Trevor. If he's right, he's out of the game and can hand all of his remaining cards to Toby. But if he's wrong, Toby's out of the game and can hand all his remaining cards to Dan. And would you believe it? He's right. So, Dan is out of the game, which means that Toby must take all his cards and play the rest of the game against me alone. Sorry, Toby. Just remember, Kamikaze Kevin can be used by anyone at any stage, but once he is used, he must be discarded and cannot be played again for the rest of the game. There's also 2 more caveats. A player must say, take that Bad Trevor when using Kamikaze Kevin in order for the attack to work. If they don't say it, the card is returned to the middle of the table and the person sacrifices their chance to use him for the rest of that game. And Kamikaze Kevin can never be played on an attack hand of just 1 card. So, if a player is down to their last card and you're positive it's Bad Trevor, that's just tough luck. Toby and I will now continue playing the game until the moment one of us passes our last card or cards to the other person. Once that happens, the game is over and the person still holding cards is crowned the loser. One thing to note is that once the game is down to just 2 people, you can no longer reverse the play or demand cards from the other player when discarding a matching pair. And one more quick reminder, Bad Trevor can never be discarded and you must always pick up the other cards from your opponent's attack hand if you're unlucky enough to draw in. And just like that, Toby is crowned the loser of the game, which means he spontaneously combusts in a burning hot cloud of shame. Enjoy.
Toby?